Hello sir, my name is Pirsamila Niba, 19 years old, and this is my research study when I was in senior high school. The title is all about level of student satisfaction on following school rules and regulation and the academic performance of the students of Mahayag National High School. The abstract. The purpose of this study is to determine if the student satisfaction on school rules and regulation has significant relationship with the student's academic performance. A descriptive correlation design was used in the study, and 50 respondents out of 1,050 students of Mahayag National High School were randomly selected. The instrument of the study used the Likert scale. Data were analyzed with the use of person R to determine the relationship between the two variables. Results show that student satisfaction has significant relationship on academic performance, which means that the following school rules and regulations can affect academic performance. This study will help students to be more disciplined and practice a good behavior. Students will understand the importance of following and obeying every rule. It gives an age to the teachers to teach discipline and obeying the school rules and regulations to their students. Teachers can make seminars with the parents to make them aware and understand well about the school rules. Also, this study will help the school to maintain the discipline to the students, which allow the students to learn and adapt their behaviors to meet expectation inside the school. Admins should have orientations or seminar for the teachers, parents, students to explain the importance of following obeying the school rules and regulation. This study can help their own students to be more disciplined and obedient to follow every rules that may encounter in the future. Parents are the role model of their children, and the children's attitude will base on how their parents teach and guide and discipline them. In Chapter 1, rules and regulations are intended to establish a disciplined, purpose, and safe environment to facilitate effective teaching and learning. Students have various perceptions upon the implementation of school rules and regulations. This will promote good behavior within and outside the school campus and attempt to achieve an organized and peaceful school environment, ANA and DITO 2015. In addition, Magadla 2007 stated that students should fully participate in decision-making, which includes the formulation of rules and regulations. Student satisfaction is needed to know if the students was satisfied in school institution, either positive or negative with their own perspective. Discipline is a prerequisite for almost everything a school can offer to students. Mark Griori 2006. In Global from South Africa, Dr. Shahida 2017 stated that discipline is about setting limits, clarifying rules, responsibilities, and mutual expectation, and creating a predictable, orderly, and stable life. Discipline is teaching acceptable behaviors and unlearning behaviors with support, guidance, in directing and managing behaviors, rules, and regulations in order that the students to cooperate and interact beneficially. According in America Institute for Research, AIR, and Cotton 2000 had the same study that some factors, suspensions, and expulsions, for example, can affect the social-emotional development and academic performance of the students. Therefore, exposing the real reason for the existence of school rules and regulation, this supported by Grosnickel 2006, in which he added that the attitude and the number of violations of a student can reflect practices and values of his/her school. In connection to San 2000 study wherein he explained the difference of having a strict implementation of school rules and regulations and not. In the study conducted in Malaya National High School of Science in Metro Manila 2006, rules and regulation embodies the standards of behaviors befitting natures and responsible. According to Maguslo 2015, school rules and regulations are mechanisms designed to control, regulate, and manage students. Students are expected to observe standards and behavior that commitments to all discipline. This study was conducted to determine if student satisfaction on school rules and regulation has significant relationship with a student's academic performance. This study is beneficial to students, teachers, and staff to be disciplined and responsible citizens. The primary purpose of the study are to examine the perceptions of every student about the school rules and regulation and investigate if they are satisfied with rules and regulation or it does affect their academic performance. And the following is about review-related literature or RRL, and these are my RRL. It's all about student satisfaction and students' academic performance. So the theoretical framework, Martin 1988, identifies learning satisfaction with a level of coherence between individuals' expectation and actual experience. Several theories have been proposed in an effort to better understanding the psychosocial dynamics of student satisfaction. For example, the happy productive students theory, Cotton, Dollard, and D. Jones 2012 suggests that student satisfaction is mediated by psychosocial factors such as copying, stress, and well-being. It provides evidence wherein high levels of psychological distress at university is related to lower satisfaction. Elliott and Shane developed more comprehensive student satisfaction inventory in 2002 covering 11 dimension, 116 indicators to measure the satisfaction of students in higher education industry. The investment model theory explained the relationship between student satisfaction and academic performance. Satisfaction increased when the rewards of study increase, higher grades. When costs like financial and time constraints are lower and alternate options are study are low. Satisfaction was higher. Hatcher, Reiter, Prass, and Fetlizaz 1992 according to the theory, students perceive their time, energy, and effort as investment and seek a return from that. Using the investment model, student at risk for dropping out can be identified and offered counseling and other students support services as a preventative measure. To improve retention rates and the quality of graduates, in conceptual framework, there are two variables. First is independent variables, which is level of student satisfaction on following school rules and regulation. Dependent variable is academic performance of the students in the third grading period. This diagram shown in Figure 1 illustrates the relationship between the level of student satisfaction on following school rules and regulation in the academic performance of the students in third grading period. The arrow indicates assessment whether the independent variable has significant effect to dependent variable. Under the independent variable was the level of student satisfaction on following school rules and regulation. The dependent variable was the academic performance of the students in the third grading period. The statement of the problem, the study was conducted to investigate student satisfaction to the rules and regulation and its relationship to the academic performance of students in Mahayag National High School. Especially, the study aims to answer the following question. Number 1, what is the mean score and level of student satisfaction towards the school rules and regulation? Number 2, what is the mean score in the academic performance of the students? And third, is there a significant relationship between the student satisfaction of the rules and regulation and academic performance? The null hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between student satisfaction to the school rules and regulation and the academic performance of the students of Mahayag National High School. Chapter 2, Research Design. This study used descriptive correlation design was used to examine the level of student satisfaction towards the rules and regulation. A descriptive correlation attempts to establish the range and distribution of some social characteristics such as education or training, occupation, and location, and to discover how these characteristics may be related to certain behavior patterns and attitudes. The variables for this study are level of student satisfaction to the rules and regulation and academic performance. The design is relevant to this study because it was expected to facilitate adequate data collection basically by the use of questionnaire Kajobi 2007. The respondents of this study are the students of Mahayag National High School of Davao City in the year of 2019-2020 has the total population of 1,050 students. The sample of this study composed of all students of Mahayag National High School from grade 7 to grade 12 was limited in 50 respondents. Sampling design, the researcher used a simple random sample where randomly selected subset of their population. In this sampling method, each member of the population has exactly equal chance of being selected. This method is the most straightforward for all the probability sampling methods, since it only involves a single random selection and requires little advanced knowledge about the population. The research instrument that I use is Likert scale. Researchers will be used ordinal type of response skills for closed-ended questionnaire were asked. 1. 1. Least satisfied, which means strongly disagree. 2. Least satisfied means disagreed. 3. Moderately satisfied means neutral. 4. Satisfied means agree. And 5. Very satisfied means strongly agree. And data gathering procedure. In conducting the study, a set of steps were followed, and these were the following. First is seeking permission to conduct the study. The researchers sent an approval letter concerned asking permission to the school head, Mr. Cernay Camisola, for the conduct of the study. Second, preparation of questionnaire. The researcher prepared and conduct a survey questionnaire towards the students. Their answer and perception will help the researcher to get the result. Third, selection of the respondent. There were 50 students out of 1,050 students of Mahayag National High School used as a respondent of the study. Fourth, the level of questionnaire. After the students completed the answer of the questionnaire, the researcher will collect the questionnaire. And lastly, recording and tallying results. All the collected data were recorded and tallied for statistical. The data analysis questionnaires have been tallied for the data files including numbering the questionnaire, number of responses, and mean will be calculated one by one. In additional, statistics package for the social science or SPSS software was used to analyze data. The students' academic performance are measured through their grades in third quarter. Descriptive statistics of the sample and person products correlation moments was used to analyze the data. The main used to determine the level of academic performance of the students. The person correlation coefficient R utilized to test statistics that measures the statistical relationships or association between two continuous variables. It gives information about the magnitude of the direction of the relationship. Moreover, the table 2 measures the level of strengths. So, in data analysis, table 1, level of student satisfaction, interpretation. Includes rating, description, interpretation. Table number 2, level of students' academic interpretation, including description, reading skills, and interpretation. Table number 3 is students' academic frequency, includes description, value, frequency, and percentage. And table number 4 is person R correlation and interpretation. This table was used as the basis for the result to measure the relationship between students' attitude and academic performance. According to LERT Statistics 2018, it is used of associate that exists two variables. So in chapter 3, results and discussion. This chapter presents, analyze, and discuss the data gathered from the students of Mahayag National High School in determining the level of student satisfaction and following school rules and regulations, and its relationship to the academic performance of the students of junior high and senior high school students. Mean score and level of student satisfaction towards the school rules and regulation. Table 5 presented the result, the satisfaction of the students towards to the school rules and regulation and Mahayag National High School. The student shows that they are very satisfied with the mean score of 4.30. It means that the student shows the attitude inside the discussion is very important. Musave or Bader 2016 believes that attitudes towards school can have a major impact on students' orientation and learning activities. So the mean score in the academic performance of the students, table 6 indicated the mean score of the students with their academic achievements, which was their grades in third grading period. In addition, it's shown in the table that the mean score of the students was 86.30 and the level of academic performance is proficient. Therefore, the student demonstrate has the high level of achievement. This implies that students were good at doing something and learn. In addition, students learn the knowledge and skills they expected to learn as they progress through their education. ED Glossary 2016. The significant relationship between the student satisfaction of the rules and regulation in the academic performance. Table 7 presented the significant relationship between the student satisfaction of the school rules and regulation in academic performance. The result shows strong positive relationship between the two variables 0.53. The table 7, the relationship between students' attitude and academic performance. The table depicted that there is a strong positive relationship between two variables, which means that there is significant relationship between the students' satisfaction of the school rules and regulation and academic performance. According to Cotton 2000, added that To break the school rules and regulation, impunity result into a bigger consequence, like having a poor academic results. Chapter 4, Summary, Conclusion, and Recommendation. Summary, this study was conducted to determine if the student satisfaction with school rules and regulation has significant relationship with the academic performance in Mahayag National High School. Descriptive correlation design was used to examine the level of student satisfaction. She came up with the following findings. The mean score of the student level of satisfaction in academic performance was 4.3 and 86.3. The level of academic performance was proficient, which shows high level of performance in the subject. There is significant relation towards the rules and regulation, and 50 students of Mahayag National High School are randomly selected respondents. The respondents answered the questionnaire based on the school handbook about the school rules and regulation of Mahayag National High School. Through the statement of their problem stated that researcher came up with the following findings. The mean score of the student level of satisfaction in academic performance was 4.3 and 86.3. The level of academic performance was proficient, which shows high level of performance in the subject. There is significant relationship between the student satisfaction of school rules and regulation and academic performance of the students of Mahayag National High School. In conclusion, truth on the research finding, the researchers came up with the following conclusion. First, the level of student satisfaction shows that attitude inside the discussion is very important. Second, the level of academic performance of the student is proficient. Third, there is significant relationship between student satisfaction to the school rules and regulation and the academic performance of the students of Mahayag National High School. In my recommendation, in the basis of the results conclusion, the researchers suggest the following. In order to prescribe the standard of good behavior, school rules and regulations should be emphasized, and enough awareness should be aroused in students. And my recommendation is for students, teachers, admin, and parents. And this is my reference. That's all. Thank you.